ஸ்ரீ அரபிந்தோ சொசைட்டியின் சென்னை கிளை ஒவ்வொரு சனிக்கிழமை மாலை 4 மணி அளவுக்கு ஒரு சொற்பொழிவை ஏற்பாடு செய்து வருகிறது. இன்றைய சொற்பொழிவில் நமக்கு நம்முடன் ஹைதராபாத்திலிருந்து அர்ச்சனா அவர்கள் வந்து பங்கேற்று மொமெண்ட்ஸ் எட்டர்னல் என்று பிரீத்தி தாஸ்குப்தா எழுதிய அந்த நூலின் தலைப்பில் ஒரு உரை நிகழ்த்தி இருக்கிறார். நமது மையத்தில் அர்ச்சனா அவர்கள் நிறைய உயரை நிகழ்த்தி இருக்கிறார். ரொம்ப மிருதுவான சுபாவம் அவருக்கு. இளம் பிராயத்தினர், ஆனால் சாதனைகளோ பன்முக வடிவம் கொண்டவர், மல்டி பர்பஸ் கொண்டவர். ஹைதராபாத் சொசைட்டிக்கு அதனுடைய நிர்வாகத்தில் ஒரு முக்கிய பங்கை இன்றும் அவர் வகித்து வருகிறார். அவருடைய வாழ்க்கை முழுவதும் எங்கெல்லாம் ஒளி, பகவானுடைய ஒளி, அன்னையரின் ஒளி பிரகாசமாக முன் சென்று நம்மை வழி நடத்துகிறதோ அந்த வழியில் செல்பவருடன் இவர் தம்மை இணைத்துக் கொண்டவர். அதை தவிர இந்த கிண்டில் என்னும் புத்தகத்தை இ புக்ஸ் வழியாக பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணி படிக்கிறதுக்கு அந்த வசதியை ஏற்படுத்தும் அந்த ப்ராஜெக்டில் இவர் முக்கிய பங்கு வகிக்கிறார். நமக்கெல்லாம் தெரியும், பெரிய பெரிய நூல்களை விலை கொடுத்து புஸ்தகமாக வாங்குவதற்கு பதிலாக ஒரு குறைந்த விலையில் அமேசான் நமக்கு கிண்டில் வழி வழங்குகிறது. அந்த கிண்டில் உபயோகித்து தெரிந்தவர்களுக்கு அது மிகவும் பயன்படும். அதை தவிர ஏதோ பூர்ணம் என்னும் ஒரு போர்ட்டல், ஒரு ஐஇ போர்ட்டல், அதில் சாவித்ரி பெயிண்டிங், சாவித்ரி ஆர்ட் பற்றியும் அவருக்கு முக்கிய பங்கு இருந்து வருகிறது. இன்று நம்மையே உரை நிகழ்த்த வந்த அவரை நாம் அன்புடன் வரவேற்கிறோம். நமக்கெல்லாம் அவருடைய பேச்சை வழங்குமாறு அன்புடன் கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறோம். Archana, the lectern is yours, the audience is yours. Please carry on.
Thank you so much. This beautiful introduction. வணக்கம், எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். இன்னைக்கு நம்ம we will dwell on moments eternal, like Ramaswamy ji has said. It is the title of the book written by Preeti Das Gupta. Also, apart from some anecdotes from there, I've also collected from different people. As I was reading, I was just collecting, and even all those moments they have mentioned is also moments eternal. Though it's happened in the physical, in Pondicherry Ashram, in the physical presence of our dear and sweet mother, reading these anecdotes, we can feel her tangible contact and touch. Now, ஒரு playgroundல ஒரு incident படிக்கிறேன்னா, we are transported at that time, or we feel the mother's presence very close to us in this hour, in this moment. So I'll just bring to you a collection of these anecdotes from a few books. So mostly என்ன பண்ணுவேன்னா நான் வந்து I'll be reading directly. So if anything comes up, I will add on to that. So we'll start. So the first anecdote is written by Shobhadi. Shobhadi is known as a very skillful musician in the ashram. So she used to make beautiful creations through music as well as dance. This particular anecdote is when she was preparing for the Mahakali dance, how mother guided her, and on that event when she had to perform the Mahakali dance, what really happened, you will read. Shobhadi is saying, Mother, how can I dance Mahakali before you? Mother is saying, make the effort, it will come. Shobhadi, there's a thought that invades me all the time. We do not know anything about the consciousness of Mahakali. You will be sitting before us. How will I be able to battle with the asuras in front of the real Mahakali? My dance is very powerful, Mother, but how can I dance in front of you? How can I act as Mahakali when the real divine Mother is present before me? Tell me, Mother, what should I do? Then Mother sat for a long time in silence, eyes closed. Then she spoke. Try and gather all the force within you. Now channelize this concentrated force on all those weaknesses in your nature you are conscious of, so that these are destroyed. Try and destroy the limitations from your nature. I think this will help you. Gather all the force within you, channelize this concentrated force on all those weaknesses in your nature you are conscious of, so that these are destroyed. Try and destroy the limitations from your nature. All of this, we can take it as a practice for us. Yes, though we are reading it as a story, as a conversation with Shobhadi and Mother, we can really use it in our meditations. Today is declared as World Meditation Day. Maybe we can, இது முடிஞ்சப்புறம் or whenever we are meditating, one time we can attempt and do this. Gather the force, call the Mother's force, and put that force on all the weaknesses we are conscious of. Surrender that weakness to the Mother. So beautiful. So Mahakali, in our very being, what she is doing, destroying the dark forces, making way for the new light to blossom. We'll read on. I came away from the Mother with her blessings. The next day, I had another interview with her. Divine Mother, tomorrow is 1st December, the day of our program. I am just unable to do Mahakali's dance. Nothing is coming. Mother, call her, she will help you. Call her, she will help you. I, stunned. Call Mahakali, Mother? Yes, call her, she will come. Call her, she will come. I am calling, Mother. You come, come, come. The Mother fixed her regard on me for quite some time. Total silence reigned between us. I bowed down to her and came away. 1st December arrived. That day, I just kept calling Mahakali and thought of nothing else. I just kept calling Mahakali and thought of nothing else. I kept praying to her. I arrived at the theater at the designated time to get ready. Millie D did my makeup, helped me with my costume and ornaments. I was wearing a red Banarasi silk sari with a golden zari border, hair open, a crown on the head, and other ornaments on the body. I held a big metal sword in my hand. Milady said, Shobha, go and look at yourself in the mirror. But in Shobha's mind and heart, there was but one prayer repeating itself. Mahakali, compassionate Mahakali, come down, O Mother. Mahakali, compassionate Mahakali, come down, O Mother. The clock struck 8. The gong sounded for the curtains to be drawn. The dance started with the strains of Sunil Das music. I was to enter the stage a little later. I sat totally concentrated in the wings awaiting my cue. Now it was my turn to go on stage. With two striding leaps, I landed on the stage with great force. Under the impact, my sword broke into two. The upper part landed in front of the mother's feet. The lower half remained in my hand. As soon as this happened, there was a loud gasp of panic from those who were sitting around the mother. I myself was awestruck by this gasp of panic, but I was reassured that the broken sword piece had not touched the mother. My dance was such that I had not a second of pause. The music rolled on. I danced with a lot of power and enthusiasm. The spectators told me the following day that the dance had been quite out of the ordinary. Mahakali's role on stage was to slay the asuras, Shumba and Nishumba. Even before the goddess had slain them, they were covered in blood. One of them was hurt in the neck, the other one in the arm. I concluded it. I concluded it must have been caused by my broken sword. Just then, such a power came down into my body. Such a power came down into my body that I could not be bothered about anything or anyone. I began moving with tremendous power and elan as I slew the asuras. At the end of the dance drama, Mother Durga reappeared on stage, her foot on the chest of one of the slain demons. Then slowly the four aspects of the mother came onto the stage and stood around Mother Durga, Maheshwari, Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati. The concluding strains of Sunil Das' music had uplifted the atmosphere with such sweeping beauty and emotion that I find it difficult to describe and impossible to forget. In the final part of the dance drama, the spotlight was on the asuras at Mother Durga's feet. The other aspects of Mother Durga were standing behind her, and seeing my condition, I too moved a little behind. My body was trembling visibly, and I did not wish to catch anybody's attention. Mercifully, the last pieces were rather short, and soon the curtains came down. She's saying that force of Mahakali entered her. Her body could not withstand that force. She was trembling. At once, I went and caught hold of the wooden side wing to stabilize myself. I felt quite out of sorts with that uncontrollable trembling of the body. I was unable to speak at that moment. I had no control over the body. The people on the stage, observing my condition, went and got Milady. Seeing me in that state, Milady asked, Shobha, what's happening to you? Why are you trembling like this? I was unable to reply as my body kept trembling terribly. She called Amyoda, who, seeing my condition, at once called Vishwanatha. Vishwanatha. In the meantime, Milady kept holding me. She asked Amyoda to quickly inform the mother about it. Both of them, holding me from either side, took me to the mother. The mother was sitting in her resting room on the left side of the stage. They made me enter the mother's room and close the door behind me. She was seated in an easy chair. Pranabda was standing next to her, talking. As soon as I entered the room, she turned her gaze on me. She laughed. Then she stretched out both her arms, beckoning me towards her. At that point, Pranabda went out of the room. As soon as I was in front of her, she held both my arms. I sat down in front of her. She took my hands into hers and concentrated intently on me. My body continued to tremble, so much so that even as she held my hands tight, her shoulders, mother's shoulders, began to tremble as well. In that instant, the Divine Mother's real form was revealed to me. She was silent, but what power her eyes radiated! What power her eyes radiated! Through her hands, I experienced an extraordinary divine strength. What power Mother's eyes radiated! Through Mother's hands, I experienced an extraordinary divine strength. Even though her body too was trembling because she was holding me, the force emanating from her eyes was formidable. She kept holding me in this way for some time. The trembling in my body began slowly to abate. Then I returned to my normal self. When my body took back its normal poise, the mother concentrated on me with exceeding sweetness and a gentle smile, and placed her right hand on top of my head. After a while, she said, "Do you know what you have done, my dear child? You have invoked Mahakali's presence in your body. You have invoked Mahakali's presence in your body." It was very good, my child. It was very good. I found my familiar mother now. She used to often mix a few sentences in French while talking to me in English. Had I not experienced this in my body, had I not had this incredible experience, I would never have believed that such a thing was possible. The mother had asked me to call Mahakali. So I had called out to her with all my heart and soul, with all the sincerity I was capable of. I did not know at all then what the force of Mahakali was, how powerful its effect on the human body. In that day's experience, I found once again the unmistakable compassion and blessing of the Mother. Unmistakable compassion and blessing of the Mother. In one more instance, Shobhadi wanted to embody Radha in a dance. So she goes to the mother saying, "Amma, I'm not able to do this Radha's dance. Something is off and I'm not able to completely get into Radha and be like Radha, dance like Radha." That's when mother gave the Radha's prayer. She said, "Every cell of your body, every drop of blood, every feeling, every thought, everything you have to offer, you have to give it to Krishna. Nothing is yours. You should do the dance with that kind of feeling, that kind of emotion. That it is not this Shobha who's dancing, but it is Radha, surrendered Radha, surrendering everything which we can think of." Very, very beautiful. So next few anecdotes will be connected to playground. How all the sadhaks around the mother, how they received her, what was the atmosphere, what did mother do in the playground. This, I think, from Preeti Dee's book only, Moments Eternal. Preeti Dee writes, "After the lesson was over, we would just sit there as if stunned. You could say that a massive peace had come down on the playground. In that bright glow, the mother's delicate body was indescribable. Just her sweet voice that continued to reverberate within us, seeking our response. Her sweet voice continued to reverberate within us, seeking our response. So many memories came up again and again to mind. After the lesson, the mother would close the book and say, "Come, let's meditate a little, shall we?" So we closed our books, sat still, as if we were champions of meditation. One by one, all the lights were turned off. During the fourth night, when the moon was waxing, the playground was enveloped in soft moonlight. The moon would bow to the mother by encircling her entire body. The moon would bow to the mother by encircling her entire body. A little away, the Ashwatha tree in our house rustled and swayed. There too, the gentle play of light and shade was visible on every branch and leaf. I looked up and noticed that everyone was absorbed in deep meditation. The roar of the sea wafted in from a distance. It felt like another planet. The heart never had enough of looking at the mother. I felt as if I was living in some dream kingdom. Looking skyward, I felt as if the sky too was bending earthward. Transfixed at the sight of the mother, the moon, the sky, everything is turning towards the mother. The tree is dancing to her music. What an extraordinary, tranquil, gentle air, as if all earthly creatures were in trance. The line in Savitri, no? All nature dumbly calls to her alone to heal with her feet the aching throb of life. All nature. Coming back, the skies are silent, silent the moon and the sun, their eyes fixed on thy feet, while the world stands still in solitude. My eyes were fixed on the horizon while the sea breeze caressed our bodies. It was a godly hour. The gentle breeze spread a sweet, subtle fragrance from the mother's body, that very familiar fragrance again. Whenever we went to the mother, we returned with her fragrance on us, brought to us by her loving touch. And this sweet fragrance would remain with us for the whole day at home. We always felt that the mother was there with us. What a wonderful sensation. Seeing the mother in this form, I remembered a song from my childhood. Who says God has no form? Who says God has no shape? Let him wipe his eyes and see tonight. See, O disbeliever, how glorious is my mother's form. How at her feet a million moons scatter their silver radiance. How glorious is my mother's form. How at her feet a million moons scatter their silver radiance. I kept looking at the mother, kept looking. God knows when I fell into this rapture, imperceptibly absorbed in meditation. Suddenly I felt there was nobody anywhere and I was sitting all alone. Where this place was, I did not know. And then I would suddenly start and see everyone still deeply engrossed in meditation. I looked at the mother, and she too was in deep meditation. No, the meditation was not yet over. And in this way, my own meditation would often be interrupted. What an amazing experience that was! By just staring at the mother's face, a supreme trust would make my eyes close once again. What a joy to be sitting so close to the mother. What a joy to be sitting so close to the mother. The playground looked different in the waning moon. As soon as the lights were turned off, everybody seemed to be alone. The whole playground would be covered in darkness. Looking up, I would see the stars blossom in the sky. The residents of the skies were watching the mother. I felt as if someone was signaling to us from afar, calling us as it were. Sitting near the mother in this dense darkness, I felt that the mother looked like someone unknown and unknowable. After all, the mother has always been beyond human touch and holding. Hasn't she come of her own will down to the earth? And that is why we are blessed to be able to see her. That is why we are blessed to be able to see her. Another incident is coming to my mind. So there would be sadhaks waiting with flowers for the mother. Um, and one occasion, mother was a little delayed, and one of the sadhikas, she got very restless. And she said, I have to get on to some other work. And she told her friend, I'm just leaving these flowers. Tell mother that this is mine. I have offered it to her. Give it to the mother. So she went. And mother comes and she inquires, where is this girl? And it was told that she had to go. She felt it's a too long a wait. So mother said, you will not believe, my children, how all the sages, saints, everybody wait for that one moment, 1 second of my darshan, of my vision. But I am so easily accessible to you, and you couldn't wait for a few more moments. Few more moments, you couldn't wait for me. There are so many people waiting life after life after life for that one moment. And when I'm easily giving myself to you, and my children are not able to wait a little longer for me. And the next day, the girl heard this and she said, Mother, you are like a huge tree, a banyan tree. We have been living in your shelter, in your shade. All we know is only you. We don't know anything apart from you. So we tend to take you for granted that you will understand and you know your children's weaknesses. Mother was actually appreciable the way she spoke, the way she replied. Yes, this came to my mind. One place, Kapali Shastri ji said, he was a person, he's done a lot of sadhana, mantra sadhana, so many sadhanas. He had reached the peak, the ultimate of all these sadhanas. And I think MP Pandit ji asked him, you've done so much. Now, what do you want? What is your next step? He said, I did all this to know and come at the feet of our Divine Mother. All of that can be wiped out. All I know now is I'm at the feet of the Divine Mother. Recently, I heard when Kapali Shastri ji was very ill and was leaving his body, he wrote a prayer, I think. Mother, in this form or any form, I am always yours. You know my destiny. You will take care of me. I am always yours. Come back to playground. The mother was sitting with an open book, and we all sat around her, staring at her intently in pin drop silence. But within, we felt a suppressed excitement. What is she going to tell us today? What is she going to tell us today? There was a table lamp beside her to illumine the book from which she would read. In 1,000 rays, its light had completely surrounded the mother and was bowing down to her. We waited quietly, bathed in that cascading light. The beauty of the mother's pure white body was incomparable. The beauty of the mother's pure white body was incomparable. All of us, young, old, adults, sat mesmerized by the mother's face. The mother turned the pages of the book, just the sound of shuffling paper. That is all. The creatures of the world were impatient to hear the mother's voice, so soft to the ears. Even the gods had come down to the playground. They too sat in our midst. Mother talks about the gods, the Trimurtis and other gods coming during the meditation. She used to say they used to sit on that ledge. She pointed that out. And so many occasions Krishna has come, Krishna has walked with her. Mother would say, after a long day, I would feel a bit tired, and I would see Krishna standing next to me, and I would just put my head on Krishna's shoulder and just be there with him, and he's comforting me. And after all, Krishna is also the child of the mother, and he would also want to come and be with her. Come back to this. Even the gods had come down to the playground. They too sat in our midst. They too had never seen such a sight. The Divine Mother herself teaching her human children. The Divine Mother herself teaching her human children. The gods too had never had darshan of the Mother in a human body. That is why they would come down to be close to her. I have also heard that in the evening, when the mother came downstairs to give us flower blessings in the ashram, the gods would gather in the meditation hall. The Divine Mother herself had taken on a human body in order to descend into this dust filled earth of ours. The Divine Mother herself had taken on a human body in order to descend into this dust filled earth of ours. In the Mother book, Sri Aurobindo describes she wears the cloak of ignorance to come down and transform earth nature. It was but natural for the gods to desire to have her darshan. After all, they never get to see the mother like this. How fortunate we are then to be blessed with human life. When the mother read out the 4 aspects of the mother from Sri Aurobindo's book, The Mother, we just sat, stared at her face unblinkingly while reading the descriptions of Maheshwari, Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, and Mahasaraswati. She would bring down the power of each one on the playground. Mahalakshmi, Mahakali, Mahasaraswati, Maheshwari, as mother is reading out, each of them would come down to the playground. Even her voice would change for each of the 4 powers. Mahakali is of another nature, not wideness but height, not wisdom but force and strength are her peculiar power. While reading this part, there was so much power and intensity in the mother's voice. The whole playground reverberated with the sound of the mother's deep, grave voice. The mother's physical appearance changed too. Seeing her then, we felt like little ants. The ground was enveloped in a profound hush. Everyone, the young, the adults, the old, remained silent. What an enchanting atmosphere was created in these classes. during those days. The mother book is such a gift to all of us. Like Preeti Dee is saying, every power Sri Aurobindo has written, as you read, you can just do it as a sadhana. These powers will slowly descend into you, they'll grow into you. And I would really suggest and request, as mothers, children, if we could all spend at least 10-15 minutes a day just picking any one power, or every day read one power slowly and just see how it works in you. Not only you are going to benefit from it or something, just for the love of the mother, just to be close to these powers. We'll continue with the next one. So this is related by Pranabda. I had just arrived in the ashram. I was very young then, and one day I remember telling mother, Mother, you and Sri Aurobindo are good friends, aren't you? I had meant someone close by friend. Mother did not answer. She thought of it. She knew what she thought of it. She alone knew. Later in the afternoon, at an opportune moment, Mother showed me the book, The Mother by Sri Aurobindo, and said, Do you know this book? It was written by Sri Aurobindo about me. The Mother book. It was written by Sri Aurobindo about me, the mother is saying. Sri Aurobindo calls me mother. Sri Aurobindo calls me mother. You must read this book with me. You must read this book with me. What a blessing, the mother herself. She's calling her child, come, let's read. The mother, which is description of herself, reading with the Divine Mother herself. After that, for a number of days, she read the Mother with me. She read the Mother to me. We used to have a midday meal together, and after the meal, Mother would read the book to me. Then later, she fully read her prayers and meditations, words of long ago, and other books as well. As this reading went on in the afternoons, one by one, many came to join us. Then a good number started coming. The next is by Jaya Didi. She's somewhere, I think I've heard in one of the talks. Jaya Didi is in her previous birth, she was Yashodama, Krishna's caregiver, Sri Krishna's caregiver. So her experience of first coming to Pondicherry, her darshan of Sri Aurobindo, she talks about. On the veranda of the house where Anil Baran was later to stay, actually she used to refer Sri Aurobindo as AG, but I'm going to say Sri Aurobindo in that place. On the veranda of the house where Anil Baran was later to stay, Sri Aurobindo was sitting on a chair. What a wonderful sight! It was as if light were flooding out from all sides. He was engaged in reading a newspaper. Holding the leg of his chair, I sat down on the floor. With a smile, he asked me, From where have you come? Sir, we are from Calcutta. What brought you here? I had a desire to visit Rameshwaram. But Upain said we should go to Pondicherry because a Mahapurush lives there and I would be able to see him. I agreed, and so I have come to see you. Won't you be going to Rameshwaram? He asked. No, I shall not go there anymore. Having seen the living Rameshwaram, I have no need to see an image of stone. Having seen the living Rameshwaram, I have no need to see an image of stone. Well, this human Rameshwaram that you have seen, do you have faith in him? Sri Aurobindo said, this human Rameshwaram that you have seen, do you have faith in him? Oh, yes, I have full faith, I answered. Hearing this, he placed his hands on my head and gently said, then you may stay here. Then you may stay here. So beautiful and so touching. It's again from Shobhadi, I think. So she talks about one of her meetings with the mother, how mother goes into trance and how her hand is placed on Shobhadi. She beautifully describes. She went into a trance with her right hand resting on my head. I was seated at her feet. After some time, she reopened her eyes and removed her hand from my head and gave me one more of her unbelievable smiles. From her look, I gathered that she had not come out of her trance like state quite completely. And soon enough, her eyes closed once again. This time, her hand was not resting on my head. That's why I could look at her to my heart's content, my eyes fixed on her unblinkingly. Nothing else existed at that moment. My eyes fixed on her unblinkingly. Nothing else existed at that moment. The mother was all I could see. The mother was all I could see. How exceedingly divine her beauty. Even in a human body, she looked sublimely divine. The very image of the divine mother. It was unimaginable, truly unimaginable. For an instant, I was immersed in the mother. I was immersed in the mother. I was immersed in the mother. And it became clear to me that anyone who has loved her can never be enticed or imprisoned by anything the world can give. Anyone who has loved the mother can never be enticed or imprisoned by anything the world can give. All of us have experienced this at some point. Next anecdote is from Janina Stroka. She was Polish, and her journey has been very, very unique. That how she came to the ashram, how she surrendered, gave herself to the mother. And she used to write letters to one of her friends. And she struggled a lot during the times of war. She moved from country to country, did some odd jobs. And in one of the places, I think she was working in a school, and that the person there who had given her that job, she used to confide in her. They developed a beautiful friendship. And destiny and mother's will had it that she should come to the ashram, and from Pondicherry she would write her experiences to this friend. And her book, she's written, the book is called Captive of Her Love. I request all of you, all mothers, children, to read this book, to know what true surrender is, And she wouldn't have like so many others, say, or Amritava Irukattum, or Nalanita, MP Pandit, all. Mary, we know that they're all closely working with her and they used to kind of interact with her on a daily basis. But she barely had a one-on-one interaction with the mother. Maybe at times she would see her from the balcony. And how much she gave herself. So beautifully she's written these letters of her true experiences. And actually she left her body at a very young age, and mother remarked when she left, she is moving swiftly to the supramental or something like that. And also she used to do beautiful drawings. She used to put several dots and make beautiful drawings. It's all there in her book, like the mother bending down, a child looking at the mother, and so many such drawings. It's made of several dots. It's some kind of technique. And mother looked at her paintings and drawings and said, she has identified something from a very high plane, and that is getting reflected in her drawings. So we'll read how she describes. Maybe after this we can close or probably read few lines of Savitri. This morning I went, as the members and many people from the town do every day, to the street on which her balcony is built and where she gives her darshan every day. Usually it is at 6:15. Today it was some minutes later. One would be doing harm to oneself if one did not become a child again. Becoming a child again. And the great adoration in the eyes of the sadhaks is only the most natural thing. This is very far from sentimentality. This is very far from sentimentality. All the sadhaks with great adoration, great love for the mother, just looking in that direction. This is not sentimentality, it is pure love. The balcony is not high. We stood very near to her. She smiled for some time, looking us over, and then looked at the houses around, the town and the sky. First looked at each and every one. Then her gaze went far and wide, looked at the town and the sky. And people in the balcony darshan would say, as mother is looking at them, we will just know at that very moment, that second, yes, mother is looking at me. There will be thousands waiting there for that mother's gaze to fall on them. And they know exactly at that moment mother is looking at them. The balcony is not too high. We stood very near to her. She smiled for some time, looking us over, and then looked at the houses around, the town and the sky. She was as if blessing all the world. So I felt. And she was doing it for quite a long time, maybe 10 minutes, but I could not tell. I could not look at her all the time. I shut my eyes and prayed that I learn to open to the descent and to adore her. I prayed that I learn to open to the descent and adore her. It is like being flooded. She pours and pours in and spreads herself to all the comers, holes and caves of the being. She spreads herself to all the corners, holes, and caves of the being. And it is a continuous fever of self-giving. Mother is pouring and pouring, and it reaches all the corners and holes and caves of our being. And there is a feeling of continuous self-giving, imploring and calling her to come. The self-giving seems to be so insufficient and so poor that it faces the grace. And then she comes. She becomes so near that at last begin to feel free with her. She comes so near that I at last begin to feel free with her, to talk to and adore her in her manifested body as she is here. I did I did not yet do it, and this is also so wonderful. How every tiny moment of life is harmoniously arranged. She's saying she becomes so near, and at last I feel free with her, to talk to her, to adore her in her manifested body, but still I don't do it. And I realize how wonderfully every tiny moment of life is being harmoniously arranged by her. Here we are all captives of her love. Here we are all captives of her love. We are all captives of her love. This is not an abstraction or a sentimental expression. This is a realistic, this is as realistic as anything can be. And it is just sheer delight, the life here. Sheer delight, the life here. Sheer delight for all of us whom she has revealed herself to. Sheer delight, the life here anyway. That is how I feel it. In the morning, I awake and there is no inertia or coma. The first thoughts and my heart's beats are she. And it is just love and love. The first thoughts and my heartbeat are she, and it is just love and love. Her vibration is in me. It often comes with great force, and this makes it possible to be able to face her during the day. Her vibration is in me. It comes with such a great force, and this makes it possible to be able to face her during the day. The love is this bridge between the drop of sea water and infinity. The love is this bridge between the drop of sea water and infinity. Today, during the darshan, all of us sadhaks were one. There was only one pair of eyes looking down at thee. There was only one pair of eyes down here looking at thee. All of us are one. Only one pair of eyes down here looking at thee. Oh, my divine mother, the need to give myself completely to everyone and everything has become a necessity. The need to give myself completely to everyone and everything has become a necessity. My gratitude is immense. Let this need to give myself grow constantly. My mother, supreme love, supreme vibration, I come to thee. The need to give myself completely to everyone and everything has become a necessity. My gratitude is immense. Let this need to give myself grow constantly. My mother, supreme love, supreme vibration, I come to thee. I abandon myself to thee and nestle in thy arms. I abandon myself to thee and nestle in thy arms, and all is bliss. Thou art that which I have sought for all my life without knowing it. Thou art that which I have sought for all my life without knowing it. But now I have recognized thee. I bow down before thee as thou art in everything and in everyone. Thou art that which I sought for all my life without knowing it. The mother laughed heartily on hearing my story, and then she remarked, still laughing, "Why didn't I tell her that you..." Sorry, this is something else. I'll read this prayer again. Today, during the darshan, all of us sadhaks were one, and there was only one pair of eyes down here looking at thee. O my divine mother, the need to give myself completely to everyone and everything has become a necessity. My gratitude is immense. Let this need to give myself grow constantly. Let this need to give myself grow constantly, my mother. Supreme love, supreme vibration, I come to thee. I abandon myself to thee and nestle in thy arms, and all is bliss. Thou art that which I have sought for all my life without knowing it. But now I have recognized thee. I bow down before thee as thou art in everything and in everyone. I bow down before thee as thou art in everything and in everyone. Thank you all so much for listening. Mother be with all of you.
Archana, if some devotees like to ask for a further clarification, would you be happy to answer them?
Yeah, surely. If I
Very
can.
good, very good. People who have any doubts to clear or questions to ask may please address Archana and ask her for help.
Radharani ji.
Namaste, madam. Archana, madam, your talk always mesmerizing and meditative. I think I heard it second or third time. Amazing. There is what to ask. You have to ask mother more and more like this. It was so amazing. And when you said on Shobhadi's experience, call her, she will help you. It was totally spellbound. I was, when you were saying, immediately we feel like calling her, and then she will help you. Call her, she will help you. And the playground explanation, the where the moon and sky were bowed to mother. Wow, we could visualize it the way you said. And mostly in the initial period when I came to know mother, I used to feel jealous of these people. Okay, they were with mother, and we were not there, and they enjoyed physical mother. Now that jealousy has gone, how blessed are they to be with physical form of mother? How blessed are we to know about it at least? At least we know all this. That way I am now thinking. Pranab Das' question and Divine Mother's answer by reading Mother book, it was great. And Jayadi's such a innocence that for the living Rameshwaram is there. How sweetly she said and how cutely our master answered it was very, very touching. And thank you for saying about that book, Captive of Her Love. Thank you, Ma. And we all are captive of her love. And there is no word to say things. It was totally extremely good. Thanks to Divine Mother. Thanks.
Radharani ji, actually, Mother has told Hutta, the people in coming generations will have more love for me than the present ashram. So we don't need to. When I used to think a lot of times, how wish I'm there, wish I moved to Pondicherry, which I just bathe in that atmosphere. But now she's just accessible, no? Like she's everywhere. Her concrete presence is everywhere. And when she was in the physical body, nobody really, I wouldn't like to say used, but know her truly. They didn't make that attempt to know her truly. Sometimes it was just, okay, mother for their material benefits or just to solve their immediate problems. But now, yes, Sri Aurobindo writing so much for us, and so much of material available to us. We are all blessed to feel her more consciously than those people felt when she was right in their midst in the physical. The physical also, she's come down for a specific purpose, for earth to be transformed, for matter to be transformed.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you so much.
Very true. Thank you. Thank you so much.
My question, Archana, is this. Who is the author of the book Captive of Our Love? Who wrote that book?
This person called Janina Stroka.
Okay.
Maybe in that March NI group is there, no? I will just put the PDF of that book in the
Very good. Very kind of you, Ma. Very kind of you. Yeah.
Ashokan.
Shakan sir can go.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much. I love to repeat some two words from Radha madam's remarks. One, spellbound. That is why that is the reason why I could not respond first. You are so spellbound. And the concluding remark of Radha madam, captives. She said we are all captives of Mother's love. I would say rather we are all captives of your talk. We are not able to come out of it still. Right from Shabadi's dance performance, you took us there, the theater, you took us to the playground and whatnot. Wherever mother was and mother is, you have taken us, what should I say, so much, so much, so much.
Mother is taking all of us.
Yes, yes. And I remember one incident about the physical nearness to the mother. I don't know the names of sadhus and all particulars, but this one I remember. Somebody were lamenting rather to Bhagavan about his or her not able to go to the mother's room because so many people were waiting, so many people had not got the appointment and all that. He said, "Why you are worrying about that? Not going, not being able to go to the mother's room." He showed her the chest. That's it there. You can go there and you have privately. You can be there all the time. Whatever you want to talk, to share, that will be your own place. He said. That's what I remember. And I think that is a thing we should all consolate. We should be all rather content, not being not worrying over why we are not there and all that. Thank you much. Thank you very, very much, madam.
Thank you so much, Ashokanji, for bringing that and reminding us. She's always present, so deep inside us.
Yes, Ma. Kasturi, Ma.
Thank you, Archana. You have explained so much about calling the Mahakali and everything. I cannot express my feelings and in words because I know Tamil only very well, but I can understand your thing. Very simple English you have explained us. Very, very nice. I used to listen your video always. Very thank you very much. Mother's blessing and my blessing, Archana.
தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச். ரொம்ப நன்றி. சாரி, எனக்கு வந்து அப்படி ஃப்ளோல எனக்கு பேச முடியாது தமிழ். Like one day I want to be like Ramaswamy ji and others. And also நான் நிறைய வந்து படிச்சிருந்தேன் directly from the books of the sadhaks. I will next time try to bring in more Tamil. And still thank you so much, Kasturi ji.
பரவாயில்ல. பட் ஆனா சிம்பிள் இங்கிலீஷ் ஐ அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணுவேன். ஆனா என்னோட எனக்கு எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ண முடியல. உங்க ஒவ்வொரு இதுக்கும் இங்கிலீஷ்ல எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ண முடியல. அவ்வளோ அழகா ஒவ்வொரு சாதக பத்தி பேசினது, எப்படி நம்ம வந்து பிஹேவ் பண்ணணும், எப்படி எந்த புக்ஸ் படிக்கணும், மதர் புக் எப்படி படிக்கணும், இதெல்லாம் நீங்க எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணது, இந்த வயசா இருந்தாலும் எங்களோட சின்ன பொண்ணுதான். உங்களுக்கு இது பண்ணது ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம். எப்பவுமே நான் சில பேரோட இதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப நான் அந்த குரலே எனக்கு பிடிக்கும். நம்மளோட குரூப்ல நிறைய பேர் பேசுறது. யூ ஆர் ஒன் ஆஃப் திங். நம்ம சார் எம்.கே. ராமசாமி சொல்லவே வேண்டாம். நீங்க சொல்ற மாதிரி அவர் மாதிரி எல்லாம் பேசலாம் ரொம்ப கஷ்டம். அட்லீஸ்ட் உங்களோட இது எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிச்சிருக்குமா. தேங்க்யூமா. மே காட் பிளஸ் யூ.
Thank you, Ma. Archana, Ma. We feel as if we have taken a bath in all the holy rivers, like Ganga, Narmada, Kaveri, Krishna and Godavari. We feel drenched also by a soft dew which constantly fell on our heads while you were talking. What a remarkable experience you explained about Shobhati when she was genuinely disturbed at how she can dance the Mahakali form before the mother. The mother's simple answer was, you call her, you call out to her. When she called out to her and jumped onto the stage, the sword in her hand broke into two, and the handle with the broken part remained in her hand. The end of the sword with its tip flew towards the mother but fell at her feet. It didn't reach her and touch her. We are able to see this scene in our mental eyes. What a remarkable. Like you said, when gods come to the playground, they sit with everyone and listen to what the mother is explaining from the book Mother or words of long ago and so on. Krishna walks with the mother. Mother says, I am very tired after a long day, and she rests her shoulder on the Krishna's neck. And you added with a mischievous smile that Krishna too is her child. And the Jaya Devi, she went to, her plan was to go to Rameshwaram. En route, her companion and guide told her that the Mahapurusha is living in Pondicherry. She accordingly made a stop in Pondicherry and met Sri Aurobindo. In those times, there is no difficulty. He was seated in a chair like a king. His in his hands was the daily newspaper. He was glancing over the columns. Jayadevi sat at the floor, holding one of the legs of the chair, and the conversation goes on. Without lifting her eyes on the paper, Prabhu asks Jayadevi, where have you come from? Calcutta. Where were you going to? is going to Rameshwaram. Would you still like to go there? She said, no, I'm going to stay here. Would you be able to say that what you would see in Rameshwaram, you will be able to see here, experience here? She said, most definitely. The Lord takes his hand off the newspaper, places his hand on Jayadevi's head, and then says, then you can stay. They are all very living images and memories. Pranavda asks it extremely an adolescent question. Are you and Sri Aurobindo are friends? That is what he asked in the initial stage. Mother didn't answer him. They used to take meals together, and after the meals, Mother picked up the book Mother, written by Sri Aurobindo, and showed it to him. Have you seen this book? He said, no, Mother. Then he said, let us read it. Then she said, Sri Aurobindo calls me the Mother, and read out portions of the four aspects to him. And he very correctly advised that if we take the practice of reading a few lines or pages from each aspect every day, we can see how a new light is flooding our lives. And this is a talk which you gave here, which has immensely enriched our lives. And although this is not the last talk of just January talk in 2024, but its richness and its divine vibration contained in the talk makes us feel as if we have been listening to such talks alone throughout these 12 Saturdays, first Saturdays, or 12 Saturdays of this year. Thank you, Archana, for taking the trouble and talking to us and agreeing to our request to be addressing us. We would only request that not far from now, we would like you to come again in our midst and talk to us on various topics of your choice. And your talk today was not confined to Preeti Dasgupta's Moments Eternal. They were really related to eternal moments of the Mother. Thank you very much, Ma. Now, with the Mother's music, this session will come to an end. Thank you, Ma.
Thank you so much.